Walking downtown and I'm okay. He's got it all figured out. It's what they all say, yeah. Everyone's looking at me thinking that I'm different.
What up, YouTube? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have for you an eye look using a palette I haven't used in a long time. Actually, it is the Baked Browns by Dose of Colors. But the reason that I'm going to do an eye look for you is because I am going to finally do the long-awaited review of my GOSS brush set, eye brush set. I've had these probably 6 months maybe, and I find myself very drawn to them, and I've recommended them to many people because I'm very impressed with these brushes. And so I wanted to do a review of these brushes, but I wanted to go ahead and do an eye look using them, showing you how they perform. They've all been cleaned. They are a little stained. They do get a little stained with reds and pinks, but it eventually kind of wears itself away. But anyways, if you would like to see my review and demonstration using the GOSS eye brush set, then please keep watching. Now guys, what drew me to these brushes, number one, is because I have respect for GOSS and because I appreciate his candid and honest attitude. He's been a part of the beauty community and a makeup artist for a long time. When he created these brushes, he invested all of his own money. He didn't have a financial backer or anything like that, so he took a huge risk, but these were worth it because they're very well made brushes. Another thing about these brushes is the way that they're extremely tapered at the ends. Lots of people have said, including him, that these are really good brushes for hooded eyes. Let me just give you an example of what I'm talking about. Let's say we're using this brush as opposed to this brush. Can you see how dramatically tapered this one is compared to this one? And the reason that's important is because when you have hooded eyes, that can get right down into your crease. I kind of just go in order with these brushes because they go down in order, aside from this one, and I'll get to that, but from larger to smaller. And so I really like, especially if I'm doing a layered look, just to go down in size as I get down to each darker color. This brush reminds me, and this is the number 18 brush, reminds me of a Sigma E25. Where are you, Sigma E25? And this brush in particular, the number 18, is the one that I held out because it reminds me of an E25, but as you can see, the end is very much tapered. But whenever you look at them from this way, I'm sorry, it's hard to really show, they're basically for the same purpose. I use this brush on my outer corner and into my crease, and I use this for the same reason. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this Baked Browns, and the reason I chose this palette in particular is because, number one, I haven't seen it and used it in a long time, but also because it graduates down in color. And so I thought that would be a good palette to use to show a demonstration of how these brushes work. So I already have all my foundational work done. I have my eyes primed and set, and so everything's ready to roll so we can get right into this eye look. I ordinarily start off with brush number 16, which is the largest of these brushes, and I use that for my transition shade. In this particular palette, I like these two, and I just use those together. And if I remember correctly, it's been a really long time, these are extremely pigmented brushes. These are extremely pigmented shadows, so I'm going to tap off just to make sure I don't end up with a mess. But it picks up a perfect amount of shadow, and I just use that to just go ahead and go into my crease. And as you can see, the reason I love these brushes so much is because it literally does the blending for you, like it's already almost blended. And I haven't done anything. And it just makes everything so no nonsense. But with a hooded eye or an eye with limited lid space, you see how it's going down into the crease, but it's also putting a light wash above and a light wash below. And I love that. I mean, I keep going just because I'm extra like that, but I really don't need to. It's already placed and it's already blended. So I'll go ahead and do that with the other eye as well. But these are super soft, but they have enough grit, and I don't know what word, I never know what word to use there. They have enough grip, I guess. Not necessarily grit, but grip to really do what it needs to do on your eye. It's not so soft that you can't get any traction. And I don't know if that's the right word, but it's hard to explain. But I heard whenever I bought these brushes that these do the work for you, and it's just so true. It's like just the shape and what they're made of and the way that they grab the product and the way they blend it out. It's just wonderful. And when these brushes are clean, I'm using them. And when they're not clean, I'm using a color switch very gently because I don't want to mess them up. So that was the number 16. And the smaller number is actually the bigger brush. So I'm going to move down to the number 17, which is the next down, and I'm going to go into this color here. I guess I could have told you the color names. Outdoors and Deserted were the two that I've already used, and now I'm going into Cherry Wood, which is this one right here. And I really love this, again, because the tip is so tapered that whenever it's time to do your outer corner and crease work, it fits. You're not using this giant brush that won't fit into your crease. Or if it does fit into your crease, it just puts so much product that where you had your transition color gets buried completely. And I just can't say enough good things about these brushes, you guys. I know you've heard me rave about them, and I'm sorry it took me so long to get this demo and review up. It just, everything else kept taking precedence, so I'm sorry about that. But there we go with the next color.
Eyes on me, I don't know what to do, so I smile and I wave.
Alright, and like I ordinarily do, I go back with the previous brush. I don't add any product, but I use it to further blend out that color. And now I'm going to move down to the number 19 brush, and this is what I'm going to use for my outer corner and my outer V. And I'm going to use the shade, drop the brush, Rock Bottom, right here. Forgot to put my camera down. You guys should yell at me whenever I do that. Alright, I don't want to miss. I want you to be able to see everything. I don't want to end up out of frame. I really do love this palette too. These are really beautiful mattes. And then I'm going to go back with the 17 that had the cherry wood on it, and then further blend that out. And then back with the number 16 just to blend it all together. I'm going for pretty simple today because I know I'm going to put something really beautiful on the lid. And so I'm just kind of doing some foundational stuff. Now the very smallest brush is the number 20, and I love, love, love this for the lower lash line. And so I'm going to again go into Deserted and Outdoorsy, these two all the way across, then this one about a third of the way, and then this one about half the way, and this one about a third of the way. And I just use the same brush for all three colors on the lower lash line. But this is a perfect size, especially if you like to bring your color a little lower. And if you don't, you can always use a tighter brush that goes up tighter to the lash line and then use this to kind of smoke it or blend it out. But recently I've been kind of liking to bring my color down a little bit lower. Kind of hides those bags a little bit. So I'm going into Cherry Wood. I do try to get a little closer as I get darker. And then rock bottom. I keep forgetting the name, so I have to look on the back. I always kind of wish that they would put the names by the actual colors so that you don't have to do that, but at least we got names. And I kind of use this brush to connect right here into my outer corner stuff. So that's kind of the base that we have so far. To begin with, I haven't used this brush yet, which is the number 18. It does have a more tapered pointed end, so I'm going to go into the light shade on here, which is Tea Light. And I'm going to use this to highlight my brow bone. Got a straggler eyebrow that needs to be whipped back into place. Get back to where you once belonged. Alright, so this is usually a step that I lately have been doing first, but since I didn't, I put a little bit more of those first two colors on here, and I'm just going to go around the outside here and make sure there's, ooh, I didn't tap that one off enough, you guys. Whew. And just do a final blend. And that's what I'm going to have to start with. So I'm done with that. I've got two pigments. One is a new thing I got called a Tarte Chrome Paint in Top Yacht. That's the color. And I'm not sure if I want to use the gold or if I want to use Amber Rush or if I want to use a little of both. That's the Top Yacht. I think maybe I'll use the Amber Rush, which is one of my favorites. It's by L'Oreal. It's a L'Oreal Infallible. I like to use this one because it's super bronzy and shiny. Shimmery. I don't know what word to use. But I'm going to color switch the brush I just used, which is the number 18. And I'm going to go in, I'm going to try to use this, number 16 for Amber Rush and see how it works. I don't think I've ever applied a shimmer with these. And it may not do a thing. I'm going to use it after. I'm going to use my finger. This is one of the most beautiful shades. If you don't have it, I highly recommend it. It's very obviously amber, but it's got a pinky tone to it. Just an undertone that's so pretty. So I've got the initial application of that on, and honestly it's been a long time since I've opened this, and it's actually feeling a little dry and maybe outdated, and I may need to get a new one, but for now I'm using it. Ooh-wee. I forgot how much I love this. So pretty. And then I'm going to take the one that has the darker colors on it and just kind of zigzag back and zigzag back and forth across there so that that blends in. I'm super glad that I pulled this out today because I love it. It's really pretty. I'm trying to put the wrong lid on and not figuring out why it's not working. Alright, I'm going to color switch the number 20, which is the little bee-bye, the little baby, and I'm going to use that to go into Top Yacht and highlight my inner corner with that. And this is a really nice brush for that. It just fits right into the inner corner perfectly. Alright, that's it for the eyeshadow, you guys. I'm going to go off camera to put on lashes and mascara and liner and all that jazz. And when I come back, I'll just talk with you a little bit more about the brushes, show you the final look, and we'll be out of here. Oh, get a lippy too. So I'll be back with the rest of my makeup done, except for my lip. You get the idea. Alright guys, I'm back, but I'm back to film this for a second time. For some reason, my camera is giving me a hard time lately, and a lot of the time, my lips don't match up with the audio. It drives me insane. I don't know the reason. I think maybe because my camera is right in front of my lighted mirror. Maybe it gets warm. I keep it plugged in so it doesn't die while I'm filming. Sometimes devices get warm whenever they're plugged in, so I'm not plugged in. I gave my phone a rest and I'm going to try this again. But that's the reason why my hair's done. I already have a lippy on, but I want to show you what I used. And so I used NYX Glide On Slide On, which is in nude suede shoes, and I used Bare Minerals Gin Nude in the shade Boss. So that's what's on my lips. But I did go through and give you kind of a breakdown of what I thought about these brushes, and so let's do that one more again. Alright, so like I said, 5 brushes for $30, very pricey. If I was going to choose some just to buy as a single, I would go with the large one, the number 16, for your transition and just overall blending. And these two brushes are very similar. The 19 and the 17 are very similar, and so you could choose either or. If I was going to choose one, I would choose the number 17 because it's just a little bit more substantial. You can get more work done in less time. For a lower detail brush, like I said, this number 20 is excellent. So if it's something that you're looking for, or if you have really tiny lid space and you need an even smaller brush, I would go with that. I didn't use this much for blending, but this is also, and this is the number 18, this is also a really great outer corner blending brush too, and you can apply color with this as well. Go in sideways and place it, and then twist it and go in and blend it. They're just all excellent brushes. The only complaint I have about this brush set is it came in this paper tube. And the way I figure it, it's like you're paying $130 for some brushes. I would think that they would come in kind of a more luxurious, more substantial package. But on the other side of things, if I want the money spent on the quality of the brushes as opposed to the quality of what it comes in, I'm going to go for put the money into the brushes, and I don't have any complaints about these brushes at all. So, as you can see, these are Sherri approved. I'm a fan. I really love these brushes. I use them all the time. I may not use them exclusively, but if I were going on a trip, I could take these brushes and I would be covered as far as my eyes are concerned. I could even probably take 3 of these brushes and I would be set for eyes, truthfully. So it would be a great travel set. If you wanted to bring this, you could, but you wouldn't have to, and it would take up hardly any room. I do use other brushes with these. I do use these exclusively sometimes, but overall, a great set, worth the money, quality stuff, and I very highly recommend them. I do not think it's necessary to have brushes this expensive. This was a splurge for me, but I'm really glad that I splurged on these, and being able to pay them out in 3 months made that possible for me. So anyways, let me go ahead and show you what the finished eye looks like. I'm honestly having a hard time remembering what I showed in the second part of my video, so I'm filming it just in case, and I hope whenever I go back and look, my mouth is matching up. If it's not, I'm probably just posting this as is because I don't think I'm doing it for a third time. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the eye look. I hope you enjoyed hearing about the brushes. If you have any further questions that I didn't answer about the brushes, just leave them in the comment section and I will answer them to the best of my ability. If you enjoyed the video, I would appreciate a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, I hope you'll do that before you go. And until next time, take care and God bless. Bye, guys.
Walking downtown and I'm okay.
So I already have all my foundation. The only complaint that I have about this brush set.
Walking downtown and I'm okay. He's got it all figured out. It's what they all say, yeah. Everyone's looking at me thinking that I'm different.